Hey guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks so much for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. So let's get into this conversation / reality chat. It's been a little minute since I've been here. I've been missing doing these conversations, guys, but I want to get back into some conversations about some ridiculous mess that really is so comical to me, but it's absolutely not surprising. And I've heard a few people talking about it, but I wanted to just talk about this story because the last week, the news had been about Love and Marriage Huntsville cast member, I guess I'll call her. I don't really like to say star, but Love and Marriage Huntsville cast member Stormi and her pasture party or party in the pasture, whatever the label was for it. She had a birthday party at her home. A lot of people were there. And one of the people that was there was Hotel Holt, better known as Ariane's baby white, birth name Martell. Anyway, named after the liquor that I guess his mom loved to indulge in while possibly carrying him, but maybe before and after. Maybe she held off while she was carrying her child in her womb, but we don't know. But anyway, this story comes from Urban Bell, and it's about Martell having the audacity to step to a woman. But we know he's used to doing this type of stuff. So that's why I said it's comical, but it's not funny. It's comical in the fact that it's just not surprising when you hear about this trash bag stepping to a female. We've seen him do it over and over again. We know that he threatened his ex-wife with this attempt to put out some content where he was going to try to make it seem like she was doing some things with some random dude, but in actuality, she was married to him, mistakenly, I will say, at the time. And he was going to try to put this stuff out there if she didn't stop what he called bullying him on social media. So he's good for using all those worthless muscles that he has on his body, but the head seems to be more muscular than anything, less brains and more muscle for that head of his to think, because who in their right mind would attempt to do something like that? You can't tell me that this man ever really loved her. And I still believe, my personal opinion, that he doesn't even really love those 4 beautiful children as he loves to describe them because of how he treated their mother and was married to this woman. Period. You just can't tell me that. But the story is based on the young lady, Karson, who we know was the one that put all of this information out there about Ariane and her baby white Hotel's attempt to try to blast Melody by pretty much trying to mortify her on social media to put out some explicit content, shall we say, to make it seem like she's just out here doing things with random dudes. And when she put that information out there, he was not happy about it. Not at all. So the story says that Martell may have been involved in some drama when he attended Stormi Steele's recent pool party. Karson was in attendance with her husband, and she later told her YouTube subscribers that things went left after Martell allegedly tried to confront her at the party. According to Karson, Martell walked up to her and asked, "You talking junk about me today?" Now, first of all, this is what they're saying in the story, and I'm just going to pause it right there for a moment. So here we go with his usual shenanigans. If you remember seasons back, I know a lot of people do not care for Tisha or her mom, Miss Wanda. You remember many seasons ago, this was during the separation period when Melody was separating from him. She was not completely divorced. And Wanda went up to Melody. This was, well, I wouldn't say after, but this was during the party that Kimmy was having for her son. And I think she was celebrating her husband, Maurice, at the time, too. Don't get me mistaken. I could be wrong. You let me know in the comments section. But she was celebrating her son's graduation. So it was a graduation party. And Melody was there first. Arion's baby wipe showed up after, and I guess some things transpired. I don't remember every single thing from the scene, but I remember Melody leaving, and Wanda was talking to Melody. She had not gone to the car yet, and she was telling Melody that she deserves so much better. She'll find a better man than him. This was before Wanda started flipping and started to really try to attack and go after Melody for whatever reason. I don't even know why. Not that there has to be a reason why. Because if you're just jealous or hateful and mean and despiteful, then you're just going to do things and it does not have to make sense. But this was before all of that stuff. So that was pre-attacks from Wanda, I believe, for Tisha, but also for herself as well. And she was telling Melody she deserved better. She'll find a good man. And then he walks up and gets himself in the middle of it. And Melody I just remember her facial expressions. And she was just like, I don't really want to have anything to do with this. She didn't raise her voice. She was not getting irate. And then she walked away and she was going to her car. And Hotel, he's sitting there fussing at Wanda in her face. As many people may not like Wanda, I still don't believe that was right. He's fussing at her. What are you doing talking about my children on social media? And with him is always somebody's talking about him or talking about his children on social media. So, when he was doing that again, this is his MO for getting up in a woman's face to confront them about something. So, again, I'm saying that because of what was said, that he walked up to Karson and said, "You talking junk about me today?" Because I'm quite sure Karson was not even speaking about this trash bag. It wasn't like he heard her say his name or anything like that. And then he ran over there. It was like the bat signal or something. And he had to show up in her presence to confront what was being said. Just like Wanda was not talking about Hotel, she was talking to Melody about her deserving better, and he got pissed off about it, and then he comes over there to interject and insert himself in that conversation, which it wasn't really a conversation. Melody was just trying to be respectful of an older woman and allow her to speak, and just standing there and listening. Well, I would say hearing, but not listening to it. And he comes over there to get involved and get in the mix of everything. Anyway, the story continues. This did not sit well with Karson's husband, so he immediately checked Martell. And as they were having an intense conversation, Karson's brother, who was also there, joined in to check Hotel. They said Martell, but I said Hotel. And at one point, the two men were about to put their hands on Martell. So security of LAMH had to restrain everyone. Man, when I'm telling you, I really hope that they have that on camera. I really hope that production was right there and they have that on camera, because I want to see it. I want to see it this next half of this season that's coming up next month. I want to see them check this trash bag, because he doesn't get checked enough by men, like real men. And that's one of the reasons why I feel that he's been able to be the disastrous nightmare that he has been in so many people's lives over these years, because he hasn't had a real man in his life. I guess it's not his fault that his dad was not there, but he hasn't had any real men, it looks like, in his life to really check his ass. So that's why he thinks that it's okay to get up in a woman's face, because he has bitch tendencies. He was never really raised by a man, so he doesn't really know what manhood really is. And I'm sorry, at this point in time, I don't care if your dad wasn't in your life. I really don't care. I'm just going to be honest. I feel that we all, as adults, we have decisions and choices in life. A lot of people don't come from great backgrounds. A lot of people don't come from the household of Leave It to Beaver, where mom was home in an apron and heels, cooking and cleaning and taking care of the house and home, while dad was just this perfect gentleman that went out there to work and come home after work and taking care of everything. A lot of people can say that that was not their experience. We have the decisions as we become adults to be better than what we came from. So I don't want to hear about, oh, well, he didn't have his dad in his life, or he didn't have a real man to be there for him. And that, no, there might be explanations, but there are no excuses, period. So the story continues. Marcel Scott got involved, and he encouraged Karson's husband to calm down and hash things out with Martell. So cooler heads prevailed, and an altercation didn't take place. Man, Marcel with his gummy, sorry, no teeth having, mind your business, because somebody needs to drop kick him and Martell, in my personal opinion, because I can't stand either one of them. And I don't condone violence, but they're just two people, in my personal opinion, that I give a hall pass for people to just drop kick them. Drop kick them. And Karson said Martell eventually told her husband that he understands that the way he approached Karson was out of order. No, you don't understand. You really just didn't want to get your ass beat out there. So you're trying to just say, oh, okay, yeah, now that I think about it, you don't think, because you don't even have real brains about yourself. You're an idiot. So she went on to say that the heated moment may end up being aired on the show since Stormi's event was being filmed. So yeah, Stormi's event was filmed, but we don't know if the cameras were rolling on that situation at the time. But I guess we will find out and we will see. But he really needs a good ass kicking. I'm just sorry. I can't stand him. He needs a few more lumps on that meathead of his. And I could stand to see him and Marcel, like the husband of Karson, you go for Martell, and Karson's brother, you deal with Marcel, since he wanted to come and interject himself with something that he had nothing to do with. Because it goes back to him interjecting himself when Hotel met up with Tiffany at the Black Cigar Lounge. Just because Marcel owned the place didn't mean that he had any business being in that conversation. And the conversation should not have even been had because, one, he's confronting Tiffany, who at the time she was with child, and some people could say, well, she knew she was pregnant when she got involved in that mess in the first place. So no, he should not have confronted Tiffany. I don't believe that he had any right to do that, especially when he's supposed to be friends, quote unquote, with Tiffany's husband. So that was an ambush. He called her over there to ambush her. He knew that he had absolutely zero intentions about talking about the event that she was planning to discuss with him, which was the celebration or memorial, whatever you wanted to call it, of the walk across the William Pettis Bridge in Alabama. And he was supposed to be whatever his role or title was in that situation, which I don't believe that he deserved. I don't know who he was working with at the time to hook that up, because I don't see the organizers of that event saying, as they're thinking of people to be involved, saying, I wonder if that whole bag who completely destroyed his family and his marriage and embarrassed himself on national television on the OWN network is available to participate in this event. I just don't think so. So I believe that somebody that he may have been working with to help with his PR and things like that orchestrated that to get him in that and get him involved in being a part of that. Because I just don't see, out of all of the people, if they could have chose anyone on that show, why they would have chosen him. I mean, seriously, why? It made absolutely zero sense. I still don't get it. I didn't get it then, and I don't get it now. So I wanted to talk about that because, yeah, just the MO of this nasty hotel, better known as Arion's baby wipe, to step to a female and get in her face, and then not knowing that that female had some real men around her to step to him. And then he's like, oh, you know what? It's all good. I didn't mean any harm. Now I understand that it wasn't okay. You knew that it was wrong in the first place, but he preys on females that he believes does not really have protection. And as much as people may dislike Ariane, and I don't care for her either, it doesn't look like she has any real men in her life. Because think about it. If she had any real men in her life, I'm not saying that they would be able to control her. But don't you think that if she had any real men in her life, any real protectors, that she would be involved with somebody like this? And even if she made the mistake of being with him and then wound up getting pregnant by him, that she would continuously, to this day, still be involved with this person. I just don't see it. So again, he preys on females that he believes doesn't have any real men around him or any real protection. And he messed up. And he'll never fess to it. So he's just a freaking mess. So I wanted to talk about that, guys. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.